Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. The first one is about Nick Walker, who just posted a very interesting YouTube video in which he kind of talks about his current state in his off season. So right now he is, I think, heavier than he has ever been. Now, is this even a good thing or a bad thing? Is more weight, more muscle, more size the thing Nick Walker truly needs? Or is he making a mistake by doing this? That's something we're going to talk about in this video, but before we get to that, let me actually show you what Nick says and how he explains it.
We're on track of everything that we're doing here. Weight this morning, probably the heaviest I've been in a very long time, 292. Still holding very good condition. Kyle's very happy with how I'm looking. Jared's happy with the progression that I am making, especially in my legs. So we're going to keep riding it out. I did tell Kyle, at this point, I don't want to get too much heavier. I think this is a pretty big weight for me right now, especially being 5'7". So I kind of want to just solidify more at this weight, maintain this weight a little longer. And then before we start prep, maybe, if he wants to go up a little bit more, that's fine. But I think holding here for a little while, we both agreed would probably be smart for right now. Because strength is still going up. Energy is still there. It's perfectly fine. I don't feel sluggish too much, to be honest. So as far as that goes, we're just going to keep everything the same diet-wise. And just keep progressing in the gym.
Alright, so his current weight in the morning, that's fasted weight, is 292, guys. At a weight of 5'7", 292 is freaking massive. It's a lot. You can't tell me that Regan being 297 or whatever, 300 pounds, is enough. If Nick at his height, and he's much shorter than Regan, is at that weight, and he can get heavier if he wanted to. If you watch his stories, how much he's eating, he's not even forcing that much food. His protein portions are pretty low. He's trying to maintain his midsection as small as possible, so he's not really pushing the food, and his body just keeps growing. So he told his coach that he wants to stay at around this weight, maintain this weight, and try to get in better condition. If his coach wants to push the weight a little bit more, get to 300 pounds, that's fine, a little bit later, but he's not really trying to get as massive as possible. If Nick wanted to, if he wanted to force feed, he would probably go up to, 320, What would that look like? It probably wouldn't look that good, because at this point he's pretty much maxed out size-wise. If he pushed weight more, it would definitely go to his midsection. And what he needs to work on, as we all know, is his legs the most and maintaining the small midsection. So he says that he's happy with the progression in the legs. As you can see right here, his legs are looking, decent, but they're not looking crazy different. They're looking, as good as usual. But hey, if he stays at this weight and he's kind of comfortable at this weight, he's probably eating enough, he's feeling good, his energy is high, his strength is progressing. If he can only make progress in training, in leg training, I'm sure his legs will actually grow, And I don't think his waist is gonna blow out. If he, however, goes beyond that, let's say, 300-pound mark, which can happen very easily if he's not careful with how much food he's eating, if he does that, then I don't think it will be good. So he knows he doesn't need to get too big, and this is already crazy big. 292 at his height with this conditioning as well is crazy massive. So all that story that he was telling us about how he lost muscle during this prep, well, if he did lose some muscle, he got it all back. He's as big as he needs to be. Just, during the off season, he needs to focus on improving the legs, and that's it. And just trying to not blow out the midsection anymore. And I think he's on the right track. I think with this much muscle and with conditioning he knows how to bring, I think he's still one of the top guys. I know he hasn't competed at the Mr. Olympia in 2 years, and you guys can't really... you can't really place him anymore in that top 3 or top 5. We don't know, because he never really stood there against the top guys in the last 2 years. But I believe it. I have him in my top 3 or top 5 at least at a Mr. Olympia. Not top 5, probably more like top 3. But yeah, we have to wait and see it, and he needs to prove it to us. At this point, he needs to prove it again, because for whatever reason, he kind of failed to do that the last 2 years. But I believe in Nick Walker. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below. Alright, the next physique update is of a bodybuilder who is in many ways similar to Nick Walker. An absolute monster, an absolute unit of a human being. Like, this guy is one of the freakiest guys pound for pound in the IFBB today. He has the height of a 212 bodybuilder, but his weight, it's way beyond the 212 pound mark. So he's freaking huge for his height. And he has a lot of freaky body parts, like his arms are massive, his legs, I would say, are his freakiest body part, the chest is huge too. And as you can see, his waist is very small. So he's a very, very impressive bodybuilder. The back, though, is not really catching up with the rest of the body parts, but everybody has a weak point. From the front, this guy is an absolute freak, and the height is a limiting factor for him. But in what way he is similar to Nick Walker other than being a freak? He pulled out of way too many shows at this point. And even the shows he did, he wasn't exactly in the best conditioning. So he always had a good excuse, a good reasoning for why he's pulling out of these shows. But do we really care about the excuses, the reasons? Like, if you announce you're doing a show, just go through it and do it. But again, there are reasons for why these guys are pulling out. And, you know, he had his reasons and he pulled out of a couple of shows. Right now, his goal is to do the Detroit Pro. And he's prepping for it right now. And he's looking insane right here. Crazy big, crazy small waist, incredibly impressive legs and arms. He kind of looks photoshopped, to be honest, but he's not photoshopped. That's what he looks like. What you see in the progress physique update photos on his Instagram is what you see on the stage. He kind of fades a little bit in the comparisons because of his height, but Carlos Thomas Jr. is an absolute freak as well. So once again, right now he's preparing for the Toronto Pro. But who the hell knows if he's actually gonna go through the prep and actually do the show in the end. I really hope he's gonna show up in the end, but you never know with this guy. There were a couple of shows, we were all hyping this guy up, wanted to see him do well, wanted to see him come in conditioned and actually show up to the shows. Sometimes he pulls out, sometimes when he shows up, he's not in great conditioning. So, you know, he's definitely not he's one of the least consistent bodybuilders in the IFBB right now, but with a ton of potential. We'll see how much he improved his back, but with this kind of genetics for growth, as long as he figured out his training, I'm sure he can make that back better. And like from the front, you can see the lats, they're looking thick, so he may have improved the back. Maybe not the thickness of it so much, but the width is there, as you can see from the front. And like overall, the freak factor is there. He's looking huge. Let's hope he actually pulls through the prep this time around and competes in the end at the Toronto Pro and maybe some other shows as well. But yeah, right now he's looking absolutely freaky. Alright, and finally, we got a new physique update from Horse MD only 2 days before the Spain Pro. I believe this guy has a good chance of winning the Spain show. Why? I know Kim Williams is doing it. I know Kim Williams is amazing right now. And there are bodybuilders who beat Horse MD before in other shows who are doing the Spain as well. But, you know, seeing the progression from Romania to Prague, seeing how much more conditioned he was in 1 week, I'm expecting to see him more conditioned, even more conditioned at the Spain Pro, and I think he has the tools, right? Like, he has the size. The only reason why he wasn't placing so high was because he wasn't hard enough. He was kind of soft. And it seems like he's going to be even harder at this show. And another thing is, he kind of has what it takes, especially these days. He has the right silhouette, you know, he has the right shape, he has the aesthetics, along with muscle. He has the shape, he has the proportions, the lines, and that's what kind of bodybuilding is going towards today. Like, you just saw Chris Bumstead placing second at such a big show, Prague Pro, and almost beating Martin Fitzwater, not by the points, but it did seem like it was very, very close. So today, the judges are actually looking for much more aesthetic physiques than they did, let's say, 10 or 20 years ago. But, of course, in open bodybuilding, you need to have enough muscle. You also need to be in great condition. I think Horse MD has plenty of muscle. He didn't have the conditioning though. So if he nails the conditioning for Spain show with his shape and with this much muscle, I think it can be enough. But again, Akeem Williams is most likely the favorite because he's just bigger, more freaky, and he has that one glaring weakness, a really weak pose. It's his back double bicep. And this is basically the first time in I don't know how long that he posted it actually, as far as his progress, physique updates. He always posts his front shots and like his back lat spread, but never back double bicep. Here he kind of showed it to us. It does look better here than on stage, but still you can see that it's just, the back is non-existent pretty much. So, Akeem managed to beat Horse at Romania, but Horse was not in condition at Romania. He was much more conditioned at Prague, but I think he's going to be much more conditioned at Spain. And there is also a whole bunch of great bodybuilders doing the Spain show as well, so it's going to be very difficult to try and predict who's going to win it, but I think Horse has a chance. He definitely does have a phenomenal physique, and as long as his conditioning is improved, and I think it will be, he has a good chance of actually winning and qualifying for the Mr. Olympia finally. But we have to wait for 2 more days to actually see that. But you guys tell me your opinion down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, guys, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best and bye-bye.